There are still opportunities to volunteer in Joplin, Missouri, or on the Gulf Coast, still recovering from Hurricane Katrina. Travel Television looks at some small nonprofits that need volunteers. Check out these stories.
We are a disaster response team. We've been coming to Joplin since the tornado hit. Why do we do it? It's because God told us to do it.
I'm been doing mission work here in Joplin for this is my 4th trip, and it's one of my passions to help others because I've been blessed with was able to retire early in my life, and so I was giving back some of my time back to the community.
Most of us that come down on these trips are retired. We still have our health and feel that now is the time to give back for all the blessings we've had in our life. Big temptation. Most of this is all donated stuff.
Oh, okay.
Folks from either our church or surrounding community.
I've been blessed richly all my life, so I took it as an opportunity to give back something to someone that needed help.
It was our first trip that when we came down here, we saw the massive destruction. And now we've come back a little over a year later, and it's amazing to see the recovery effort.
There's a lot to be done here in Joplin yet, and the progress is coming along, but it's slow, and there's always room for more and more work to be done. There's 365 days a year. If someone can just come for a day or a week or whatever it is and put a little time in, it will help out immensely.
The good news is that Joplin is setting the example for the rest of us out here to show what really the American way of life should be, neighbors helping neighbors.
Swept away by the rising waters. Staring out across the ruins of their homes, they began to fear what tomorrow would bring. Who would they turn to in their darkest hour? Who would hear their cry? Thousands of volunteers from across the country were asked to reach out and help New York, and willingly, they answered the call. Men and women of all nationalities and from all walks of life joined together on the largest disaster response the East Coast has ever seen to extend a helping hand to all those in need. If one were to paint a picture of the mission of the American Red Cross, it would incorporate an intricate design of volunteers who humbly serve those who have lost everything. In New York, volunteers drive emergency response vehicles loaded with hot meals and disperse them to communities in critical need. Other volunteers work in shelters and provide comfort and support to those displaced by the devastation. But together, we strive to bring back happiness and joy to those who have lost so much. People helping people is a beautiful thing, and as this operation moves forward, it is amazing to see the compassion the volunteers bring to everything that they do. As over 5 million relief items were given to those still facing the aftermath of Sandy, we hope that our support may stand as a beacon of light to those who are still left in the darkness.
About coming to Joplin, and I knew there was disaster and devastation, and I seen God's people hurting, and I wanted to somehow come and help heal.
But the thing that happens mostly is you find out that instead of you coming out and missioning to someone else, the circumstances tend to mission to you.
I see it.
It's really kind of opened my eyes to what other people go through, because when you hear it on the news, you're like, yeah, that's really terrible, but you don't really feel how bad it is until you actually see like what happened and how the people were affected.
Oh, it's over here.
It's gonna be interesting. And when you actually hear their stories and see their emotions like in their face when they're telling you the story.
You learn things that you didn't know before, like I've been taping and floating, and how to make the cement we put on the wall be smooth.
Where'd you go, Mark? I started right here on the living.
Now, I thought I knew how to do this before I came out here. And what I found out is how much I didn't know, and B, how much I could learn. So I can take this now back, and I have this basement that I've been trying to finish for the last 9 months. And so now I know that I can do this probably in a weekend, where before it probably would have taken me another 9 months to finish it. The people here have been incredibly brave and incredibly generous, and that's not what you expect to find in a place filled with devastation and loss. You expect to find people upset and bitter, and you're there to comfort them. Instead, they comfort you. They encourage you. They lift you up. They make you want to work harder than you had originally intended.
And it makes you feel very special and important to know that you have come, across the country.
If you want a great experience that helps you and fulfills a need for the help that you want to give people, come to Joplin, because it's the place to be right now for help.
Y'all come down!
We want to be a part of the long-term commitment to Joplin, and not just in the next few days. So we came down about 14, 15 days later on a goodwill trip, handed out underwear and socks, and assisted with food and all of that. And at that point, everybody in the United States had zeroed in on Joplin, so we were just a small part of it. But the Cardinals came together with the Royals for 2 teams in one goal. And then over the course of these last 16 months, this Missouri Governor's Challenge, we've joined up with the Chiefs and the Cardinals and the Rams and the Blues, etc., to be a part of it. So,
well, competition can be a great thing, just to get people to go to the next level, contribute a little more. And people always say, well, I'm given enough already. Well, how much is enough? So most of us are so blessed that we feel obligated to help when others are in need.
It's great that, the teams in this state can come and help, and, and all the volunteers. It's amazing that there's so many volunteers out here.
Just to receive something like this after something like that, I'm very grateful. I'm blessed.
it's almost like a fire that started around Joplin. People are chipping in and doing what they can and help each other out, and I think we have a good catalyst going right here with this.
Well, I'm down here with the Royals organization, and we came down here to lend a helping hand to the people that suffered a devastating loss here in Joplin, and we just wanted to be a part of just helping out a fellow American. It feels great because a lot of these families are Royals fans, and they come out and support us, so it was our pleasure to come out and talk to the families and maybe lift their spirits up a little bit.
It's very humbling, you know. Sometimes in this game you lose sight of what's really important, and it's just been really cool. It's been really a blessing to be able to come down here. I mean, I'm taking more from it. I've been here for 20 minutes. I've taken more from it than I'm sure anybody's taken from me. So it's been pretty awesome.
My name is Irene Nabatoff. I am arguably one of the longest serving post-Katrina volunteers in the region. What started out as an 18-day commitment at a relief kitchen has now spanned just shy of 7 years. My 18 days in the relief kitchen, everything was in response mode and by nature was very temporary. And with a lot of community support, we envisioned opening a community center, something St. Bernard Parish never had. And last year we served over 4,300 unique individuals. I'm living in a FEMA camper because I work uncompensated. St. Bernard Parish is the only county in the history of America to ever been totally catastrophically flooded. And as a result of storm surge damage at one of the refineries, this also has the distinction of being a home of the largest domestic residential oil spill in U.S. history. And volunteers are a vital part of how we operate here. Both our local volunteers, some of which you may have heard from today, as well as volunteers that come from all over the country and to some degree from all over the world. They have a unique experience here with the center in that they're truly embedded with our community. Many times volunteers come down and they take on rebuild. Rebuild really helps one family at a time, and oftentimes the family is still displaced, so all your erstwhile efforts, you never really get to meet the people that you're helping. Here, you actually interact one-on-one with our clients, whether it be helping them carry their groceries out, and giving them that cathartic time to share their story, or stocking the shelves when the masses come in, because we serve so many needs here. And we operate on 2 tiers. Internally, as a Second Harvest partner, we run a food pantry 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We always have volunteer opportunities associated with that.
Take a left on this next street and bring them out at Lowe's, then you can miss all the traffic. Had 750 to 800 volunteers per day, despite the weather conditions, who've been coming out just trying to lend a hand to find any way that they can reach out into the community and just provide whatever help they can to make things a little bit better. We've had people come from all over the central part of the United States, the upper Midwest. We have equipment that's come from as far away as Iowa and southern Minnesota. And today, on Saturday, this is the largest volunteer turnout that we've had. We've had at least 2,000 people come through our system already, and we expect many more. Important that individuals call 211 and
talk to someone before they come to get additional information, or to go to 211Missouri.org website that can provide updated information about our current status here. And also, I just want to say this is going to be an ongoing effort. We're going to need people for weeks and months as we transition from this emergency response phase into the recovery phase. There are going to be opportunities for everyone of some type.
The rebuilding continues after the devastation of the tornado that flattened much of Joplin, Missouri. While Travel Television visited the area, members of the University of Missouri baseball team came to help out homeowners.
Mizzou Athletics helped build homes as part of the Governor's Joplin Challenge.
What the Governor's Challenge is the Governor of the state of Missouri issued a challenge to 7 sports programs in the state. So University of Missouri Athletic Department, St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Cardinals,
Change up, got him looking.
St. Louis Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City Royals.
So the Royals get the sweep.
And NASCAR.
And we're here today to help finish up the homes that other Mizzou students started. You know, we've had, all the other sports, basketball down here, so baseball wanted to come pay their dues with a couple softball girls and some gymnasts. And we just wanted to help out and, finish up some of these homes.
Look around, you can see there was so much, but now it's barely like anything. And just to see people drawing together and working as a team and rebuilding a community that needs help, and we want to help them right back.
To me, one of the biggest things is just the total lack of trees. There are no trees.
It's pretty hard to hear about, and I'm just glad that I can come down here and help.
I used to be a city letter carrier, and I worked here in Joplin, and I know this area. I used to deliver mail. Half of my route was destroyed in a tornado, and it was hard to figure out what street am I on, because I look around my first delivery, I'm like, where am I? Where's 2402 Minnesota? The house isn't there. There's no street. There's nothing recognizable as a landmark. So that was like you didn't even know where you were for a while. That was difficult, but all that is improved considerably.
Get it done. We're gonna be moving in. If you're volunteering in Joplin and you're at somebody's home or somebody's business volunteering, you may never see those people again, but those people will never, ever forget your face, ever. It's an amazing experience. It's a special connection.
Being able to go to play baseball at a great school is one of my dreams. Not every kid gets their dream. And to be able to give back to the community that I lived in for, 18 years really means a lot. And to go back to Mizzou and, all the friends I've already made and tell them, get out here, make an impact on something, change the world.
I go to sleep at night. I wake up in the morning giving God thanks and praying for the health and safety of all the volunteers in Joplin. Without the volunteers from Joplin, St. Louis, nationwide and worldwide, it wouldn't be possible.
It's wonderful. It really makes you feel good to do something for someone else.
It just gives you a great feeling knowing that you're helping out somebody that has been through something pretty traumatic, and it's a pretty cool deal.
I'm gonna start crying again. It's when we move into our house and we sit down for dinner, these are the people that help build our home, that we'll never see them again. And there's just not enough thank yous for that. We're super grateful. They're amazing people.
This month, Travel Television presents stories from a trio of weather-related disasters in the U.S. Hurricane Katrina, the Joplin, Missouri tornado, and Hurricane Sandy. So let's get right to our first stop.
The middle of a parking lot in East New Orleans may seem like a strange place for an incubator of baby cypress trees, but not to James Strom, who runs the tree program for Common Ground. In the middle of an industrial area in East New Orleans, off Reed Boulevard, a little bit of earth growing, thanks to Common Ground.
Yes, I'm James Stram, and I'm with Common Ground Relief. I'm the wetlands coordinator. Common Ground does all kinds of different stuff. We have a legal clinic, a construction program, among other things. And what we do at the wetlands program is we grow native plant material that is part of the wetlands ecosystem. So there's kind of 3 different kinds of wetlands. You have the bottomland hardwood forests, you have the marshes, and you have swamps. So everything we grow is native to one of those 3 ecosystems. And so we grow the stuff here with help from volunteers, and we go out into the wetlands with other volunteers and plant them.
My name's Laura, and I'm from New York, and I'm volunteering with Common Ground.
My name's Liberty, and I'm from New Zealand, and we're volunteering here. This is my friend Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm from New Zealand, and I'm volunteering with Common Ground.
Hi, I'm Marianne. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm volunteering with Common Ground.
I graduated college in 2010, and I just decided I wanted to go on like an adventure, and I rode my bike down the East Coast and then up the Gulf Coast, and I was planning on going kind of all around the U.S. But I got down to New Orleans, and I just basically fell in love with the city, and I got involved with Common Ground, and I really liked it here. So I've basically been here since.
Anne brought me here. She had visited New Orleans a while ago and worked with Common Ground, and had told me how great of a program it was. A lot of really great people, and so I decided that instead of just coming down to New Orleans for vacation, that we would rather kind of help out.
Because it's a different way to see a city than you would if you just stayed in a backpackers hostel and hung out with other people who are, just traveling through. Yeah, you get to stay in one place for longer and meet lots of people and help out.
This is some of that earth that's growing. Baby grasses, baby oaks, baby cypress. Little incubators for the trees and grasses of the swamplands that help to protect the Louisiana coast.
Get there.
Unfortunately, like Katrina herself, there was an uninvited guest, Isaac, who decided to crash the events that were planned for that week. Okay, these are the tombstones that were in the street here from this cemetery. Even though this family lost their homes to Hurricane Isaac, they were tireless volunteers in their community.
We wanted to rally together. Gina, we met you because you came and volunteered with us, and we had no idea that you were not just a normal volunteer until we started asking questions. And then I heard Lauren's the one who suggested, Mom, let's not lick our wounds. Let's get the focus on somebody else. And Lauren, that says so much about you too. And so then we got to meet Danny and then hear your story and just even how you rescue people. And I know that you guys don't put it as anything special because you're just doing what you do because you love people and it's your neighbors. But to be able to save like over a dozen people's lives is awesome. And I know you guys as a family are proud of them. And we have some incredible volunteers. Volunteers that go with us on a regular basis, but then also spontaneous volunteers who are just good people from all across America who want to come help. And so to have the extra hands to help put with our skill helps us pull off some very incredible projects, and this was one of them, and it's a family's life that's going to be changed forever. But if we can create one oasis of hope, many times we find out that's a chain reaction, so it becomes a catalyst for a community. And it's not just our organization, it's organizations all over the country with volunteers who love people and want to make a difference.
I'm just happy to be here. The greatest part about it is to work with other men and women that have given their heart to our brothers and sisters in need.
Mark Murphy with a big happy birthday for Steve and the entire crew at Travel Television. 5 great years. Looking forward to the next 5. Happy birthday.